So here is another big doubt for another small brainer like me. To Dushyant Sridhar, of course. Yeah, we are there. Yeah. So Dushyant Sridhar ji says, how can Rama live 11,000 years? How can Dasharatha live 60,000 years? They should all live 34, 40, 50 years of age. Okay, agreed. So now we have Ravana, who got Shapa from Anaranya, the 10th king from Ikshvaku, and died in the hands of Sri Rama, the 40th king from Ikshvaku. So the generation gap between Anaranya and Sri Rama is 30. There are 30 kings in between Anaranya and Sri Rama, where Ravana has lived, obviously. So every king, let us say every king has lived only 50 years, or even say for 40 years or 50 years. Let us, for calculation's sake, let us say every king has lived from Anaranya to Sri Rama only 50 years. So 50 years into 30, that is 1500 years. So Ravana should have lived not less than 1500 years. Is that okay? Is this against the Veda mantra Shatamanam Bhavati Shatayuh Purushaha Shatendriyaha? Number one. Number two, it is the Jambavan who gets the boon from Sri Rama in the last shloka of Yuddhakanda, where Sri Rama says, Hey Jambavan, Hey Dvivida, Hey Mainda, the avatar of Ashwini Devatas, Dvivida and Mainda. All these three people, they should stay until the end of Kali Yuga and return back. Jambavan fights with Sri Krishna, and Dvivida Mainda, they fight in the army of Duryodhana. So we know that even by Dushyant Sridhar ji's calculation, where the difference between Ramayana and Mahabharata is 2000 years, Jambavan should have at least lived 2000 years, Dvivida Mainda should have at least lived 2000 years, and Jambavan, during the Lanka avatharana of Hanumar, the jumping of Hanumar to Lanka, Jambavan says, I am very mighty, I can myself jump Lanka, but I am unable to jump because during Vamana Avatara, when Trivikrama happened, I jumped from mountain to mountain and I have hit my leg in the peak of Himachala. So I can only jump 99 yojanas and I can't jump more. So we now know Jambavan lived from Vamana Avatara. Jambavan was there in Vamana Avatara. Jambavan was there in the same Jambavan. There is no different Jambavan. The same Jambavan is in Kurma Avatara. The same Jambavan is in Parashurama Avatara. The same Jambavan is in Rama Avatara. The same Jambavan is in Krishna Avatara. How do you make sense of this? By the meaning given by Dushyant Sridhar. And how do we make sense of chiranjeevees? Ashwattamaha Balir Vyaso Hanumamscha Vibhishanaha Kripaha Parashuramascha Saptaite Chiranjeevinaha. So for Parashurama, let us say he is Lord Vyasa. I think Sri Vaishnavas agree that he is Sakshat Bhagavan. Okay, let us leave these two people. What about the rest? Ashwattama, is he a human? Balihi, is he a human? Vyasaha, Hanuman, let us okay. Hanuman, I don't know. Hanuman, he says that he is just a monkey dressed human. Monkey, a human in monkey disguise. It is what Dushyant Sridhar ji says. So what about Hanuman? What about Kripacharya? What about all these people? What about Markandeya? How do we think about chiranjeevees? Dushyant Sridhar ji, I respectfully ask, please do answer about these things. How do we make sense of chiranjeevees? How do we make sense of Jambavan? How do we make sense of Ravana. Jai Shri Ram.